Welcome to museblogs. This is the first entry where we'll be talking about planking. Now, over the past few weeks, I have been hearing a lot of discussions. There have been a lot of arguments over this new planking thing. Well, predominantly among blacks, and some find it as there's no problem, and some say it's very insulting. Now, for those who do not know what planking is a new fad, an internet viral thing where I think it started in England, where the original name was the lying game, where you lie face down with your hands and legs perpendicular, straight, and your toes touching the ground. Very simple. Now, the variations of planking, that's where the interesting thing is. You're supposed to plank in very random places, and the more unique your plank is, the better rating you get for the plank. You can plank single, in groups, or whatever. Now, the reason why there have been a lot of controversy, so to speak, about this planking is because a few people relate it to what happened during slavery days. And namely, this is what someone says: sick and mad is correct. It's a total insult. Planking is from slavery days, and for it to be shown and comedy or joke is disrespectful. We have our freedom now, but back in the day, those positions these pictures depict were extreme hate, evil, inhumane, and life-taking. Millions of Africans died in those positions in the Middle Passage. It's a shame how things have changed. People forget and nothing matters anymore. Damien, big up yourself. Alright, I have a piece of paper in front of me because I tend to go very deep into conversations, and I want to get over this as quickly as possible, so I have my pointers. So now the question is, why planking? Is it stupid? Yes. Is it a waste of time? That's subjective. Is it meaningless? Yeah. Once. Hello? Anyway, back to the whole thing. Is it fun? Yes. Now, what's your problem with the whole planking thing? Slavery was what, 500, let's say over 400 years ago, right? Back then, slave used to plank, but it doesn't mean the same thing. No, I'm going to try and let you see that. Today is just for fun and to show off. You're holding on to a grudge from 400 years ago. Now, in my book, if you think it is just of you to hold on to a 400-year-old grudge, then I think if that's the case, then it is totally reasonable for a white person to still be racist today. It's just in the dualities. 400 years ago, women found in the company of men were scorned at, beaten, or killed. Today, the company is quite welcomed. So, to say that back then women found were beaten and killed, so I have to do it today, alright, then you should go out and banish women to the gallows and have them hanged for their whorish act of hanging out with other men. Now, if that isn't testament of how things and times have changed and how meanings and have changed, then I don't know how I can make you see it any better. Occurrences. You know what mental slavery is? Even though you are no longer a slave, you still carry the mentality. Finding this offensive is the epitome of what mental slavery is. It's time for us to move on. I think white people should find planking even more offensive than black people. You know, because in the white people case, they would be saying, I will not plank because 400 years ago, slaves used to plank. So I will not plank, right? But it's quite the contrary. You know, white people are planking even more than blacks. They are the people, they are the ones who started this whole shit. If this isn't a testament of how we have moved on and how things have changed, then I don't know what is. Are you going to hate the white men that have black wives? Why? Because it was so back in your forefathers' time, then you're supposed to hate them now. The last thing is, why does it bother me if someone finds it offensive or not? Why should it bother me? You know, I think because it matters. These are the things that keep racism alive. If you can't let it go, then you can't expect the white person to let go of racism, because you're carrying that grudge, that mentality that, okay, because you're a white person, then I'm supposed to hate you because of what your forefathers did 400 years ago, or because I am a white person, then I'm supposed to hate every black person in the world because of their status 400 years ago. Yeah, it's time for us to move on. I welcome your criticism, to post your comments. Inbox me if you disagree with reason. Alright, things are different now. It doesn't mean the same thing no, like what it meant 400 years ago. And if you can't see that, holding on to outdated beliefs and things such as outdated politics and religion, we'll move on. We'll tackle that on another blog.